Time on Jeffy Lube, we're working on the 2016 Mazda Miata. So this Miata is my wife's daily driver. She's owned it since basically brand new. It had 1,000 miles on it when we bought it. It has 128,000 on it now. Something that's very common on these ND Miatas is this exhaust manifold, the pre-cat that's baked into the manifold actually goes bad. So what will happen is you'll end up getting a check engine light. This car I've really struggled with trying to figure out what's actually causing the check engine light. Because when the check engine light is on, the idle's rough. It runs fine, but it doesn't feel the same as when it's off. And it's been intermittent. So I've done a snake camera through the exhaust manifold to see if the cat has broken apart. It has not. I've done an intake cleaning. I've used every over-the-counter mechanic in the can type fix, such as the one from CRC, guaranteed to pass emissions. That actually didn't even turn off the light after it was run. I've also used CataClean. All those things, none of them have worked. This has been on and off for the last 20,000 miles or so. After doing more research, it sounds like basically this is a classic failure of that pre-cat. Changed out 2 sensors, didn't make a difference. So instead of dealing with that any longer, I'm going to move to a aftermarket header from Fab9, as well as a tune using Versatune to actually give the old girl a couple extra ponies. So I'm going to show a little bit about what parts I bought and what I'm going to be changing, and then I'll have videos on doing the tune as well as installing that. A couple things, I'm going to put brand new plugs. These are Iridium plugs. Part number shown there. And then you have this great piece. Got shipped in just 2 days from these folks. This was where the tuning cable was at. So I got a tuning cable in this brand new header. This is not coated. This is stainless steel. Very nice piece from Fab9. If you look at those welds, are beautiful. One other small note, I noticed that there's actually a flame spike in there as well to help with velocity and flow. All these welds look absolutely gorgeous. This is a great piece. All stainless steel. I believe it would be made in America. The other piece that it comes with is all the gaskets to get this job done, as well as an O2 sensor extension, which is required for this. Before getting started, I'm going to take this heat shield off so I can get access to the nuts and studs, spray them down with more Creel, and then we'll continue on. This is the best penetrating oil you can get, so we're going to spray it on. Soak them all up, and then we'll start working on tearing this apart. What you're going to want to spray down is right here, and the other bolt over there. So there are 3 10mm bolts that take the heat shield, but if you look at this, looks like there's plenty of room. It's actually a nice factory piece, but this is going to look so much better. These have come apart before, so it shouldn't be a big issue, but rather be safe than sorry. So something that's always recommended is to make sure that you can get these off by hand. So that was lucky. There's 5 of these on the exhaust manifold in various places. So you've got one here, one on the edge, one in the middle, one here, the other one on the edge. So there's a total of 5 that need to be removed. Bringing a little bit better light in there. We'll leave that one on until we loosen everything else up. See if we can pull this beast out of here. Onto the underside. When you're doing this job, there is an O2 sensor right there. It's hard to see, but you need to push that pin in, pull the connector out, and then that should give you access to pull the actual manifold out.
So in order to get more room, I ended up having to undo the motor mount here. It's a 14 millimeter nut. Not hard to get to. Just use a couple extensions and an impact gun, it comes right off. Using a piece of wood with a jack to jack up the engine just a little bit to get a little more room between the manifold and trying to get some room between the manifold. As you can see, it's just starting to come up off the motor mount down there. So I'm going to jack a little bit more, give it a little more room. We'll continue on with this expedition. As far as we can go. Room to get it out. There's something down here attaching that O2 sensor. We need to get that guy out before we can remove the header. So nothing a little flathead screwdriver can't get undone. We're going to continue on removing this header. There she is. She's a beaut, Clark. This is the best part of header installs right here. Trying to figure out how you get this thing in there. This is what it's hitting on right here. Motor mount. Got it on. You do need to jack up the motor at least 1 to 2 inches. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. So what we ended up doing is right here, you can kind of see down there where the sensor wire would touch the header. So I actually routed it up here out of the way, and then it's going to go around here and plug in down there. Should be perfect. So now we were going to flash the car. I got my tune imported from Fab9. They told me I need to edit these settings, which I can do myself. I'm going to tune out the P0421 code because I no longer have the pre-cat. I have just the main cat. Click OK. Click to next. Now we're flashing the new tune. The most exciting part of the whole thing. Header's installed. Gonna pick up a few extra ponies out of this bad boy. So I've had the header installed for a couple days with the tune, running great, but I could tell there was some kind of exhaust leak. I was smelling exhaust in the car. Well, looking at this exhaust gasket that connects to the mid pipe, you can definitely tell it was not sealing properly. Well, Fab9 includes another exhaust gasket, which is this guy.
Looks to be almost twice the thickness. Feels like a softer material, so I'm gonna throw this in and see if that fixes my problem.
Outside of those tips, it was a fairly straightforward job. I will say you do need to undo the passenger side motor mount to jack the motor up high enough to get the header, the stock exhaust manifold out, and the new exhaust header in. So I tried to skirt that, and that just cost me 30 minutes. Not worth the time. Just do it ahead of time, jack the motor up. That exhaust manifold will come right out. It's very straightforward. And I would say this is probably one of the easier jobs I've done on an exhaust for any car in general. So appreciate you joining. Like, share, subscribe. And if you want to see more YouTube videos like this or things around maybe the motorcycles, let me know. Drop me a comment and I'll try and build some new content. See y'all.